2026 is here, and I will be telling you guys about my resolutions and goals that I have for this year. This is part 3 of my New Year's series. So if you're tuning in for the first time, this is the 3rd video. So there is part 1 and part 2, where I talk about my year 2025, how that went, and then I talked about my goals and resolutions I had for last year and how I ended up doing. So part 3, I'm going to be talking about my goals I've set for myself for 2026. Each year I've kind of had like a little mantra or like a mission statement, I guess, for my year. And this year, my mission statement is the year of romanticization and health. Basically, my goal with this is I want to just really romanticize my life, have something I'm looking forward to in every season, every stage, and just make the most out of every part of this year, the ups, the downs, and everything's in between. It is the year I'm getting married, so there will be a lot of romance in this year as well, so that shouldn't be too difficult. And then health, my quote for last year was like the year of fun and fitness, and I really wanted to expand on that because I want to really work on my overall health as well. So I really want to start incorporating things like making sure I'm drinking enough water, making sure I have enough electrolytes, making sure I'm eating enough protein and have a well-balanced diet. So that's kind of what my main focus is, like broad goal for this is. For my actual like resolutions and goals, I wanted to make sure that they are specific, something that I can actually do and check off, once I'm done. So it's not something like spend more time with family or spend less time on social media. I want to have specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely goals. So SMART goals. My first one is do 3 consecutive unassisted pull-ups. So I talked a lot about this in my last video as well. I had this goal to do 1 unassisted pull-up for all year, and I finally did it right before Christmas. So it took me all year to actually do it. And this year I want to continue to work on it because I could barely just get up that 1 pull up, and that was my goal. So I reached that goal, but I want to continue to work on it. I'm going to focus one of my upper body days every week towards specifically like back muscles, shoulder muscles, core, just really everything that you need to do a pull-up. My second one is to play a sport. This could be anything from like going out to play a pickleball game with friends, doing like a little tennis match, kickball, softball, anything like that. I just want to play a game. Fitness is fun, but like I was an athlete my whole life. All the way through college, I even did like rec sports. So I miss just like playing games, So I really want to play anything. I still have my softball gear from when I played softball in high school and college and that type of stuff. I have a tennis racket. My apartment complex just put in a pickleball court, so there's really a lot of opportunities for me to do this. And then also like I live in a city that has just like adult rec leagues, stuff like that. So I think there's a lot of opportunities for me to play a sport. This one should not be that hard. I just have to actually like make an effort to do it, because that's what kind of got me in trouble the last time, or like last year and kind of even the year before that. I set these goals and then I make 0 effort to actually do them. So as long as I make an effort to do this one and actually like look into playing a sport and how I can do it, I'll do it. It's not that hard. My next goal is to cook 8 new meals. So like I was saying, I really want to expand on my diet, really focus on having well-balanced meals. I also recently started eating meat. I talked about that in my last video as well. I want to really figure out some good meals that I can make with chicken. So if you guys have any recommendations for good like chicken recipes, I've done like chicken Alfredo, chicken Parmesan, I've done chicken and rice, like sticky chicken, like that type of stuff. So if you have any suggestions on like good like chicken recipes, then I would love to hear them. My next goal is to complete my mood tracker journal. So For Christmas, my fiance got me a mood tracker journal. It's 100 days of tracking your activity, tracking your mood, tracking, just your overall thoughts throughout the day. So I want to make sure I fill out all 100 days. Now, the year is 365 days. Even if I miss a day, I should still be able to do it by the end of the year. My next goal is to read 7 books. So this was my same goal I had last year, and I was able to do it relatively easily. I actually just finished my 8th book of 2025. The reason why I'm not increasing this goal this year is because I do have a lot going on. I am getting married this year, like I said, so I'll be doing a lot of trips. We're also getting married out of town, so there will be a lot of trips out of town, a lot of, busy weekends, days off work where I'm not able to just relax, things up, times I'm not gonna be home. So I didn't want to put too much pressure on this because reading is something I really do enjoy now. So I would love to read another 7 books, and I did get 7 different books for Christmas. I think I actually got 8 books for Christmas. So I already have a year of books that I can read, which that's really the only thing I ask for Christmas anyway. I'm like, just give me books and shower stuff, and then I don't have to buy that stuff my whole year. My next goal is to get a passport. Now this one, I kind of didn't really think all the way through when I wrote this down, because I'm getting married at the end of the year, which means I'll be changing my name. And I don't have a passport. I've never had one before, never been out of the country, never had a need for one. But as we're getting older and we may go on more trips, there might be some out of the country trips that we want to do. I know my fiance's family is much more international, world travelers than my family has been. So now being a part of his family, I know there may be some out of country trips that we will do with them, and I do not want to be the reason why we cannot go. Since I'm changing my name at the end of the year, I don't really want to get a passport and then have to get another passport because I changed my name. So I'm gonna modify this goal to where between me changing my name and the end of the year, I'm going to do everything I need to have done to get the passport. If I'm just waiting for it to ship to me and it's not shipped to me yet, I'm gonna count it. The next one is to donate blood twice. So if you watched my last video, my goal last year was to donate blood 3 times, but the funny thing about that was I had gotten 3 major surgeries last year. So at the end of 2024 and then September 2025, I had 3 major surgeries on my hip. So I kind of needed my own blood. I didn't really need to be giving my blood to other people. And I think you actually are not able to donate blood. They don't let you donate blood if you've had surgery within either 6 months or a year. Since I'm, kind of further removed from it now, I will be able to donate blood again, I think in March. So I'm going to donate blood probably then, and then I think you have to wait 8 weeks. So there should be no reason for me not to be physically able to achieve this goal. It's such an easy way to give back to your community, help out those who are less fortunate, someone going through health problems. And my blood specifically, I'm O positive, so my blood can help so many people. And to me, that's just such an easy way to give back to your community and help out somebody in need. My next goal is to take a trip home just because. So a few years ago, once I graduated college, I moved out of state, and I'm not very far from family. It's still something that I can get to within a day's time if needed. But anytime I go home to see my family, to see my fiance's family, see friends, it's so rushed. We're always there for a reason. We're always just there to just stay the night and then run around, do something, and then head back home. So I really want to make an effort to go home, to just spend time with my family, to just hang out. And we have a pool in my parents' backyard, and my mom loves swimming in the pool. So I would love to go home for a weekend and just spend time with her by the pool and just hang out. Just something where we're not rushing around. It's so hard as adults to make time for the people who we care about the most, especially being as far away as we are. So I just want to make an effort to foster and grow those relationships I have with my family. And on that note, my next goal is to meet up with college friends. And then I'll just put two in one. The one after that is to meet up with high school friends. So I have two different goals: meet up with my college friends, meet up with my high school friends. The condition on these is it can't be wedding related. So obviously I've got some high school friends, I've got some college friends in the wedding, and so they're going to be involved and they're going to be at like the bridal shower, bachelorette, stuff like that. But I don't want that to count. Like, that kind of seems like it's cheating. I want to make an effort to see these people just to hang out and just to catch up and just to see each other. I don't want it to be all about me and my wedding. I want to make sure I pour into those relationships as well. It's just so important. Like I said, as adults, we're all kind of doing our own thing right now, especially like if you're in your mid to late 20s. You're just still adjusting to being adults. You've grown up so much, you've maybe moved away, and it's important to go back to your roots and pour into those relationships that made you the person you are. After that, my next goal is to volunteer. So this was my goal that I had for myself last year, and I did not do it. This was one I just did not even make an effort to do. I did it the year before. In 2024, I did volunteer, and it was really fun. It was really fulfilling, and I want to do it again this year. I live in a capital city now, so there's plenty of opportunities for community service. Even if it's just like a couple hours one morning, like there's no reason why I shouldn't be able to do this. So I really want to actually make an effort to volunteer. My work even gives me a paid time off day to go volunteer specifically. So if it's something I do with coworkers, that would be cool. Just anything. My next goal is to get married. Obviously, this one's gonna get checked off. I don't see us calling off the engagement or anything. Last year, I didn't have a goal to get engaged, but then when we did get engaged, my fiance wrote on my little sheet, "get engaged," and then he checked it off. So I added it to my list this year to get married, so that we'll be able to check it off when we do. And my last goal is to increase my savings by 25%. I don't want to say the exact number. I just feel weird putting that number out there. But I was able to double my savings last year, and I'm very, very thankful for that. This is stuff just in investment accounts, 401k, Roth IRA, stuff like that. But I don't think I'll be able to double it again this year, because now I just don't think I'll be able to do that. So I have 3 different ways I kind of save. So the first thing I do is my money that goes into my 401k, it just goes directly out of my paycheck. I live below my means. I'm not frugal, I don't think, but I'm a cautious spender. I don't need a lot of things to be happy. I just don't really spend a lot of money. I was able to increase my contribution to my 401k, and I was okay. Next, I have $300 going into my Roth IRA from every paycheck, because I think the contribution changed this year. I think it's $7,500 this year, but last year the max was $7,000. So I did the math, and it kind of added up to $300 per paycheck to add up to the $7,000 total. And I was able to max out my Roth IRA. So I have that. And then at the end of the month, once I pay off my credit card bills, my rent, stuff like that, all my bills are paid, everything's paid for the month. Whatever's left over, I'll put everything except for maybe $200 into my taxable savings account. If you don't like personal finance, sorry if that was kind of boring. But if you want a whole video just based on budgeting and investing advice, I am pretty passionate about that type of stuff. Now we're gonna move on to my ins and outs. So these are just things that I want to focus on, something I couldn't exactly make a SMART goal out of, but still something I wanted to focus on and have some intentions to do. So things that I want in and things that I want out. The ins are meal prepping, face masks, monthly goals and intentions, personal style, and living in the moment. So Meal prepping ties into my yearly mantra, the year of health. I have been kind of starting to not exactly meal prep, but like I'll make enough food to where I have leftovers and then I'm able to kind of eat on that throughout the next couple days. And then I just do that like maybe 3 times a week. And this has helped me a bunch because my problem I was having before I started doing this was I would not eat. And my job that I have, I can't do that. I am up on my feet all day. I'm walking around. I'm very active in my job. And then also not in my job, like I'm active. I go to the gym. I exercise almost every day. And making food ahead of time is the easiest way to avoid skipping a meal or going out and buying something that wouldn't be as healthy as just what you cook at home. The next thing I said was face masks. The reason why I say this is because I have so many face masks because I always just ask for them for like my birthday and for Christmas because I don't really want people buying me like clothes and stuff like that. I would rather just buy that on my own, and then I don't really know, there's not really anything else I want. So I just say like, oh, just skincare stuff and like shower stuff and books, like I said earlier. But I have so many that I've accumulated over the years, and I went through and like reorganized my bathroom and my storage and stuff yesterday, and I have so many. So what I want to do is do like weekly, self-care days, monthly goals and intentions. So I have a planner for 2026, and I want to start organizing my life. Usually I would just organize everything by week and just plan everything out by like each week, but I want to look at it more broadly and do like monthly planning. I just want to make sure I'm setting a goal for myself, just something really small to achieve each month, just something, to work for, something to where I have a win each month. Stuff like that just kind of helps make life a little more tolerable. Next, I said personal style. This is something I started really working on last year. My post-surgery bedridden binge watch on YouTube was fashion YouTubers, just all these girls talking about finding your personal style, your style words, your capsule wardrobe, stuff like that. And I realized I do not have any sense of style. And I've worked on it this year. I've really kind of realized things I like, silhouettes I like, cuts I like, stuff like that, colors. I want to feel like me, and I just want to, feel more confident in the stuff I'm wearing and have more confidence in myself, and I think my style will really help with that. Living in the moment, I have this tendency to dwell on the past, and not that I like regret anything, but sometimes it's just like grieving, like, oh my gosh, I miss this so much and stuff like that. And I want to just try to stop doing that this year because my life is so good right now, like so good. I'm so grateful, and there's just no reason to worry about the future because I have no control over that right now. I'm just going to live my life. The past, there's nothing I can do to change it. So it's gone. It's not coming back. Let's just live in the now and go from there. So I just want to be a little more intentional with that mindset this year. My outs are toned down outfits, screen time, quick dopamine hits, burnout, and disorganization. So toned down outfits, this is something that one of my fashion YouTubers I watch mentioned. You shouldn't be afraid to dress as you as possible, because sometimes you'll put on an outfit and be like, oh, this is too much for this occasion, let me just change into something else. I want to stop doing that because I am such a victim to that mindset. I should just dress up, no need to be a shell of who I want to be in terms of my fashion, just really express myself through my style this year. That's what that means. Screen time. So I've done a pretty good job of this the past few years. I am on my phone a lot at work for work reasons. So when I get home, I don't want to be on my phone. So I have a app limit on all my social media stuff. So I try to really not look at social media too much, but I want to make sure I'm I'm really focusing on that this year. Like, I'll say, oh, I have app limits on social media, but then I'll like spend 3 hours watching YouTube videos when I could be reading a book or doing something else productive, cleaning, stuff like that. So I would love to maybe watch less YouTube shorts, and just focus more on other things. That kind of goes into quick dopamine hits. The dopamine detox has been such a like buzz phrase the past few years, I think, and everyone is just tired. Everyone's tired and unfulfilled, and it's because we look at TikTok all day. Anytime we even are bored or slightly hungry or anything, we go get a sweet treat, and it's like weighing on you. It makes you feel so unfulfilled. So I am trying to be more bored, like spend more time just being bored. I've picked up on reading. I have coloring books. I like to color, Sudoku. I have stuff like that where I can really just slow down. If I can kind of like balance that a little more and, spend more time being bored, I think that will make the happy moments even happier. Burnout. This is something I have struggled with as long as I can remember. I've always kept myself very, very busy, and I always get burnt out. And so I'm always trying to change things up really, really fast because I get burnt out so quickly. And I haven't really dissected why I do that. Like, I haven't really unpacked that yet. I haven't gotten to the bottom of it. But I want to find a way to avoid getting burnt out so quickly, especially with the job I have. I work a decently stressful job, and I started it in August, and by like the end of October, I was in a mental health crisis. I was so burnt out. I felt like a zombie. I like could not function, and it was just the most terrible feeling. And thankfully I was able to get myself out of it and get the help I needed, and I got better. But what's to stop it from happening again? And that's what I want to work on and see if I can dissect, unpack, whatever it is, why this happens, why I get so burnt out so easily, and what I can do to change that. And I think that ties into like the romanticization of everything. If I can just find something to just enjoy and just really soak it in. I think I did a great job of this in the fall season, even though that was kind of like when my mental health kind of started going down. But just in other things that I could control, like I really made the most out of my fall and winter. I really made the most out of the holidays. I went to the pumpkin patch. I dressed up for Halloween. I drank the pumpkin spiced latte, just stuff like that. I read the cheesy fall autumn romance book. Like, I just made the most out of it. And I think just doing that will really help as well, just to find something to enjoy about every stage of life. So then you're not just feeling like everything is the same and it's exhausting and I'm getting burnt out. So hopefully that helps. My last one is disorganization. My fiance and I, we moved into our apartment, I guess a year and a half ago now, and we didn't have very much stuff to fill the space because we were moving into a bigger space, and it was just us two versus our last place was with a third person. So we weren't really used to having this space to ourselves. And so over time, as we slowly filled up the space, as you naturally do, things are just unorganized. Like, our pantry, we just throw stuff in it. There's no structure to it. Same with like the bathroom. I just organized it yesterday. Like, there was no rhyme or reason to why things were the way they were. We've got just stacks of like Cokes and LaCroix and just stacks of like those cans just in the corner by our kitchen table, and like beer cans, stuff like that. Like there's no place for anything. So I want to work on this year making places for things and then decluttering things that don't serve us and don't have a place. Hopefully that will make me not lose my mind, because after Christmas I was like, we've got to do something about this space. It is so unorganized and cluttered, and we just got to do something about it. So that concludes all of my 2026 resolutions, goals, intentions. I don't know what my next video will be, if I will make another video. If you guys have been here for a long time, you know I'll pop in and then I'll pop out, but I don't know. I enjoy doing it. I'm really trying to figure out this audio. Ever since I started YouTube, I feel like every time I start again, I have to like relearn how to do everything, and the audio has always been my biggest struggle. So I really want to learn how to fix the audio and make it a little better. And I feel like if I do that, then I'll be more motivated to make more content. But yeah, we will see. And thank you so much for watching. If you haven't checked out the other 2 parts to this little New Year's series, you definitely should. But thank you so much, and I'll see you guys next time.